Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm an astrologer talking with you from the Pacific Northwest for an ongoing conversation about the relationship between the cycles of the planets and the activities of people and events on the Earth. And today we're going to be talking about words, because as with any language, astrology is all about the words. And the word astrology itself is derived from the Greek words astron, which means star, and logos, which means word or speech. And I've always been fascinated by the use of words, because I do believe that words can change our lives simply by being next to each other. Words can inspire us, and they can guide us. Words can educate and illustrate and illuminate. And as the author of the Harry Potter book said, words are an inexhaustible source of magic. There are key words associated with each astrological sign. There are words that will please each sign and words that will truly bother each sign. So I've created a list of some of these words that will create this positive and negative reaction. So for the sign of Aries, the words they love to hear: first, best, bold, strong, and now. They love everything to happen now. What they don't want to hear is wait, they don't want to hear last, and they certainly don't want to hear weak. For Taurus, positive effect words are steady, solid, calming, hopeful. The words that will bother a Taurus: slow, they can be, but they don't like to hear it. Boring, also they can be, but they don't like to hear it. Hopeless or unstable. For Gemini, which is the sign of communication words: clever, witty, smart, and bright. What you don't want to say to a Gemini is ignorant, or scattered, or silly. Gemini is the sign of denial anyway, so they will deny anything that you say to them. The sign of Cancer, which is very susceptible to flattery, if you say that they're kind and sensitive, protective, nurturing. The words that will bother Cancer, there are many, because they don't like criticism of any kind, real or imagined, but they certainly don't want to hear insensitive or uncaring. And if they are a mother, do not call them a bad mother. Then you'll have a bad Cancer reaction. For the sign of Leo, any words of appreciation and applause, because that's what they like. But they like the big words: tremendous, spectacular, fantastic, generous. Leos don't want to hear ordinary, incorrect, poorly organized, or no willpower. Or if you tell them that they're not fun, that will not make them happy. For the sign of Virgo, a very exacting sign with words. So if you use the word perfect, clear, correct, efficient, trust, these are words that will please them. If you say messy or imperfect, that will not make them happy. Also, if you call them fussy, they'll probably correct you and say they're actually particular. For the sign of Libra, they love to hear the word beautiful or charming, graceful, balanced. They don't want to hear the words unfair, ugly, imbalanced, rude, or ill-mannered. For the sign of Scorpio, words that will have a positive effect from them are perceptive, sexy, deep, powerful, incisive. Words that Scorpio do not like to hear: powerless, exposed. You don't want to expose Scorpio's secrets, or calling them shallow. For the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of higher wisdom and knowledge, if you call them wise, if you call them knowledgeable, If you tell them that they have a great idea or a big idea, they'll love that. They like the words positive and optimism and forward-looking. If you call them narrow-minded, stupid, or negative, or backwards, they will not be happy with those words. Now for the sign of Capricorn, resourceful, successful, practical. Tell them that they're a good worker and that they have just used time in a really good way. That will make them happy. If you call them immature, lazy, or irresponsible, they will not be happy. If you call them cheap, they are frugal, but they don't always want to hear the word cheap. For the sign of Aquarius, anything that points out that they are different, unique, innovative, brilliant, call them a rebel and they will say thank you. Aquarians don't want to hear dull, commonplace, conservative, run-of-the-mill. That's not an Aquarius. And for the sign of Pisces, imaginative, intuitive, poetic, kind, sensitive, magical. What Pisces don't want to hear is uninspired, unkind, insensitive, flaky, vague. They can be. They get lost in a fog of their imagination sometimes. Whatever you say to a Pisces that is negative, they'll say, I'm sorry. But as you'll find with every sign of the zodiac, there are words that you can connect with and that will have them cooperative, and words that will have them dig in their heels and block you or limit you. And I've always said to all of my students, if you are reading someone's astrological chart, look at where the planet Mercury is placed in their chart, because Mercury is the sign of communication. And then use the words that are associated with that sign, and then you'll have a very good conversation with that person. So I hope you've had fun with this list of words. And please remember to use words wisely. And don't raise your voice, raise your words. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the other videos and come back for more soon. Until then, sending you all spirit, bright light, and love.